Good morning and welcome to the Cyber Daily Briefing. The time is 0806 on the 27th of January 2025. Right, let's get into it. So we are looking for any news from the 26th or 27th of January. Okay, this piece here is in relation to United Health. I say 190 million. Cool. They're not being popular right now, are they, United Health? Any news? Dubbing the previous figure, yeah. Is there any more news in this that we can take away besides the fact the amount has doubled? Okay. Looks like most people who are affected are already affected. Ransomware attack. Yeah, okay. So there isn't any key takeaways from that besides it looks like 190 million, so more people have been affected by it than previously thought. Okay, that's not great news. All right, September, we'll ignore that one. In fact, we'll delete that one. 3rd of January, we'll use that because we do it occasionally. 3rd of January, nothing there. Like I said, we're looking for 27th and 26th. Okay, this is going to be an interesting talk. Protection against deepfake cyber threats. So, deepfake cyber threats being effectively things like images and videos that appear to be true but are effectively fake. So I think the first instance I saw of this was a number of years ago, I believe. A Russian organization released a deepfake image of a Russian politician or businessman allegedly uh, in the company of some women, and allegedly that was a deepfake and that wasn't true. So yeah, this is something we're probably going to see more of, and as this technology becomes more accessible, there is a possibility we're going to see this start hitting the general public. I know there's already been some brief talk around whether, well, yeah, I guess it is deepfake. So predominantly women having pornographic or sexually explicit images and videos created of them using AI, and that's kind of a more recent thing. So yeah, what can we take from here? Fraud and social engineering. Yep. So we're going to see attackers pretend to be someone they're not, pretend to be your mum and give you a FaceTime call and ask for some money. I think at the moment there's maybe this is outdated, so do check up on this, but I believe there was a period of time where AI and deepfakes really struggled with side profiles. So there was a period of time where people were asking, if they weren't sure, they were asking who they were talking to turn to the side. And if they did, you could kind of tell whether it's a real person or an AI created person. Identity theft, yeah, we're going to see this. Someone not necessarily a bit opposite to social engineering, so someone pretended to be someone else to manipulate me. We're now going to see people potentially actually pretending to be me to get to my interests, my finances. Political manipulation and disinformation, yeah, you're going to see images being created allegedly of someone performing something that will either this will predominantly, I suspect, be in a negative sense of them performing something that will be viewed by most of the public negatively. Reputation harassment, yeah, that's going to be an outcome from that. Your reputation is going to be damaged if there's a fake video of you going around doing something you didn't do. Okay, so yeah, looks like there's tools now that will help you analyze this. I don't know any off the top of my head, but definitely look into that. Biometric and MFA, yeah, MFA is one of the basics. I think at the moment is one of the cornerstones of security. It can help you with so many attacks, this being one of them. Awareness and training, as a lot of this stuff comes back to. Being aware of the threat is half the battle. Monitoring, digital forensics, yeah, blockchain, digital signatures. Okay, yes, this is going to be sign-in videos, being able to verify who the creator of that video is. Yeah, legislation, ethical standards. Yeah, tricky line, tricky line to tread. Regulation, legislation, all that kind of stuff. Currently, in the UK, we have a consultation around uh, should the payment of ransomware demands be outlawed, and if so, who should that affect? And obviously, on the face of things, it's well, yeah. Why would you not ban? Why would you not ban people paying ransoms? Right, you're funding criminal groups, but it's not as simple as that. Can you? If a hospital trust had been ransomware, people are dying every day as a direct result of this ransomware attack. The threat actors are demanding, say, £1 million, and there's the only realistic way the hospital are going to be able to recover from this. Should that be outlawed? I'm not saying yes or no, but I'm saying simple it's not a simple answer. We need a sensible, in-depth discussion about this. And if you do implement a ban, you need to stick to that ban. Otherwise, your ban is a hit us hard enough and we'll pay ban, regardless of the consequences, which at times will make organizations, authorities, and governments look potentially very unpopular. So that's a bit of a, sorry, I had a bit of a detour there. 25th Jan, that's all. Remember, we're looking for 26th and 27th to discuss today. Okay, researchers exploited. Right, what's this? It is just researchers, so it doesn't look like we're sending any of this in the wild at the moment. Remember, things that happen in the lab tend to be very specific scenarios that we often don't see replicated in the real world. Let's have a look at it anyway. So, okay. Right, so this is a vulnerability of some sort. Yeah, the bridge using. Okay, path traversal. Right, yeah. Okay, looks like these vulnerabilities are already. They're already on MVD. So have a look at these. See if they have an impact to you and your organization. If so, are there patches out at the moment? I'm going to guess no, but implement. Ensure you have appropriate access control in place. It says here, sanitize inputs, have monitoring in place, follow principle of least privilege. Comes back to the kind of basic, the cornerstones of technical security, at least. Access control, principle of least privilege, monitoring, all the good stuff. I don't need to be rehashing this with you. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's necessarily an update yet. Keep an eye on it. Again, like I said earlier, it may be one of those where it's in a lab environment. It's a very specific input, a very specific situation where this can happen. But look into it a little more. It doesn't look like there's an update at the moment. Just keep an eye on it. If you start seeing it be exploited in the world, make it more in wild, make it more of a priority. Hacker Combat, member, 20th, no, that's old. That's old. 26, okay. Ooh, CMMC. What news? What is this going out? Cybersecurity maturity model. Assisted defense, yeah. Okay, so this is around a new initiative being released by Insecurity, INE Security. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. To help America's Department of Defense, the equivalent of the UK's Ministry of Defense, to gain a CMMC, I'm assuming, certification, or at least a better understanding of it. Yes. Oh, 5 to 3. Okay, yeah. So there used to be CMMC was 5 levels. They've now reduced it to 3. Makes sense. Probably was a bit complicated with 5 and probably not too much difference potentially between each of the levels, whereas moving it down to 3 is a bit better. Yeah, so talking about the cornerstones, this is probably quite a CMMC. We'll look at other things like CIS controls or what are now the top 18 CIS controls, and they'll have implementation. Is it implementation groups? I think they call them. Have a look at those. Are there anything else? Just things like over in the UK, again, we have NCSC Cyber Essentials. Look at all of the things covered in those, the lower levels of implementation groups and CIS controls. They're kind of, when I talk about your cornerstones, your foundations of security, that's what those will be. So this is a good example: basic partition management, access control, basic endpoint protection, all that kind of stuff. I mean, I'd even argue that in this day and age, MFA, security monitoring, is, I'd be looking at including that in your basic problem. That's very, very interesting, actually. I've just seen that risk assessment documentation isn't needed until, just check I'm not, yeah, isn't needed until level 2. I'd really question the effectiveness of level 1 here then. If you are performing no form of risk assessment documentation, you're kind of just slapping this stuff on for the sake of it. Okay, cool. Yeah, I might have a look into CMMC a little more. I think I'd argue a lot of your basic cornerstones here aren't implemented until level 2, so if people aren't achieving level 1, you really have an issue. Need to look into it more. But that's good. Any latest data breaches? Nothing from the 26th or 27th. 14th Krebs on security. Good old Brian. 26. Change healthcare data breach. I think we've already covered this. This is just another article covering the fact the healthcare breach, I think, was first discovered autumn last year. Yeah, October 2024. Had impacted a lot more people than originally believed. Is there anything in here? A little more information here, so we know the data exposed: names, addresses, date of birth, phone number, driver license, IDs, social security numbers. It's not good. No, it's not good. Yeah, a lot of that isn't good. Wow. Okay. Any more news about that? Hmm. That'd be a nice quick one. This today. Here we go. Cyber diplomacy. Hmm. So, I'm sure you're all aware of the recent change in a government. Is that technically the right phrase for the American kind of political organization? So we have a difference between government, parliament. Is government the right phrase in America? Just stick down in the comments if I'm wrong. If you can probably tell by the accent, I'm not American, so I'm not quite as well versed in that. In the UK, we have kind of government, parliament, and they are sort of different things. So I think this is to be expected. A reduction in foreign aid is going to obviously impact anything that comes under that foreign aid, cyber being part of it. Whether you agree or disagree with that, let's not get into that here. Let's not make this a political channel. We are here to just purely give you a run through of today and yesterday's cybersecurity news, and any quick takeaways save you having to read through it all yourself when you're first logging in the morning. Right. Yeah. Key takeaway from this: if you were receiving funding from one of these channels as one of these, say you were in a place outside of the US and some of your funding was coming from US aid, expect that, or it could be impacted by that, expect that to potentially be reduced. So yeah, not really any more takeaways than that. Right, this is going to be interesting. Mince loader delivers still see malware. Okay. Oh, with threat hunters, love a good threat hunter. Secondary payloads, yeah, that's to be expected. So what essentially what a secondary payloader is a mince loader is malware, and that is used to then distribute further malware. In this case, still see information stealer. Um, so PowerShell based, that's a common thing you see with malware is it leveraging PowerShell. So ensure any PowerShell you see being ran in your environment, you can justify why it is being ran. Ideally, if you don't need PowerShell to be run, put mitigations in place so that can't happen. Block it. And if you do need it, then again, follow the principle of least privilege, only allow it to be run or ran by users and devices where it needs to be, and have monitoring in place to check that. Okay, we're seeing this all over the place. In the last few years, we're seeing an increase in the amount of CNI being targeted. All right, fake capture prompts. And it's a fake capture prompt running, copying that as executing the PowerShell script. Yeah, okay. User training, again, ensure if a user doesn't need to be able to run PowerShell that they can't. Make people aware of this. Maybe have your organization, maybe have a quick daily email if there's any changes in cybersecurity. Maybe not a daily one, just if there are any quick changes, make sure you get out to everyone. Don't overdo it. You don't want people to just start ignoring it. But this could be something you want to do. This could be something you want to make your users aware of. Any captures, be careful. Uh, verify, yeah. These fake verification pages load of potential. There's the PowerShell script. Again, if I was going to say if you don't need copy and paste, don't run that, but users are going to need that. Maybe you won't need that on servers or some critical servers. If you don't need it, disable it. Kind of spam email leads to download of a JavaScript file, phishing email, user training, awareness and training. I know people like to move away from this, but it's key. It's a cornerstone. Would you like it or not? Or we can't continuously rely on technical controls. You need some form of awareness and training there. That's interesting. You can probably set up some form of detection around here or anything. If you are seeing this, yes, okay, you might have been compromised, but at least you can have a detection in place to be alerted to that sooner rather than later. Obviously, try and build some detections to detect and prevent this from happening in the first place, but also think about having a detection in place to confirm if you're compromised. It'd be interesting if there's any IOCs. This is a specific server. I know a lot of these signature-based stuff is easy to get around, but if we've got a low-hanging fruit, why not? Oh, DJ-based algorithms. So there are some, this is going back 5 years, I was at an organization where we were attempting to create detections to actually detect domain-generated algorithms for domains. So that may have developed recently. That could be another detection. Yeah, if there's anything out there for any of these. Any of these still Cs, a mint loader or whatever, any IOCs, any ways to detect those, make sure you've got them in place. Cool. Yeah, and that's more to take away from that. And finally, what's this? What's this on Wired? The new kitchen designer tool is just a stay. Yeah, okay, right. I'm not going to do that. Okay, cool. Well, that's a quick run through, 20-minute run through of any news from earlier today or yesterday, and some quick takeaways from it if you obviously don't have time to read through it all in your busy mornings. Feel free to drop any comments in below and let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any further information about any of these the news articles we've covered. I'd like to kind of create this as a bit of a forum where everyone can kind of update and help each other out with any of this information. So thank you for your time. Have a good day.